G'day, Roy West here from Sunland Caravans once again. Today I'd like to show you the Blue Heeler Free Camp Edition for 2020. Now, we're actually very pleased to say that this is the first time I've been able to video a completely stock standard one as they come, and also to tell you that this is now on display here at our yard at Sunland Caravans at 2 Strathvale Court, Caboolture. So please come and have a look at this for yourself. So all the features I'm going to show you on this caravan are standard with this caravan. So we start off with the DO35, and as everyone knows, this is my favourite off-road hitch of all time. I just think it's brilliant. Your safety chains, and there's somewhere to put them aside when you're not using. Anderson plug and your 7-pin plug. 7-pin for your trailers. A double brace jockey wheel. So we've got a nice big brace on that to hold the double clamp, and a ratchet handbrake. The ratchet handbrake's really good. I love this as opposed to those El Cheapo things you often see out there. But this is an off-road caravan. So we've built the new Free Camp Edition with our aluminium chassis, and this is a really big deal. If you get underneath there, if we can have a quick look, you'll see that's got the composite aluminium chassis. This is really the best bit of work we've ever done. They are fantastic, and it's enabled us to put some fantastic weight savings into the build of this caravan. You'll also see while you're underneath there, it's fitted with the XT independent suspension. That is a 4-coil 8 shock absorb system. Absolutely brilliant. Now, I'll just bring you back to the front of the caravan, because we're going to start here and work our way around it if I don't keep pulling around. Nice big toolbox on the front. One of the things that is important with the Sunland products is that we do supply you with a handover kit that gives you all the bits and pieces that you need. So you've got your brace for your wind-up legs. But if you're like me, you'll probably cut this off and attach it to an electric drill, but that's another story for another day. Your silage hose, food grade drinking water hose, and it comes with the fitting that's an American thread fitting that's required for your fill on the side there. We also supply you with your 240 volt lead. I'll remind you that that's got a 15 amp connection to it, so it's 10 amp socket and it's a 15 amp, not a 10 amp socket. We also supply you with your jack, and underneath that suspension on the trailing arm you'll see there's a little ring. This is to locate this directly underneath it. We also supply you some adapters for various bolts that are on the van, because we supply you a torque wrench. Now, a lot of people have got tie wrenches there, you know, the 4 different type ones. Come out here, whack it onto your wheel. Let's tighten it up nice and tight. But actually, it's very easy to over tighten the wheel nuts. We don't want you doing that. We want you to make sure that you're doing the wheel nuts up correctly, so we supply you a torque wrench to do that. The other adapters are so that you can also tighten up some of the other bolts on that chassis, and again, your torque settings are supplied. We give you the tools to do it, so you can actually do these things yourself. Okay, back at the front here. On the other side of this toolbox is where we store our gas. Now, I love the idea of having everything lockable. It keeps this nice and clean. You're not going to get stone hits hitting your gas bottles and so forth. It also protects you from having people use your gas. So this is your 2 9-kilo gas bottles here. Quick changeover, so that if you do run out of gas on one bottle, turn the other bottle on, flip that lever over, we've got our gas happening again. Good stuff, and a good lockable toolbox. At the front we've got the tunnel boot. The tunnel boot goes from one side to the other, as the name would suggest. Inside this tunnel boot, you'll see on the Blue Heeler we've also got the covers to go onto the awning arms. That'll protect the awning arm when the awning arm is travelling, stops stones from hitting. Also gives you another level of security so these can't come undone while you're in transit. But also acts as a head bumper. So when the awning arm is out, you've got something to protect your noggin. There's also got a couple of special covers for dust protection, but we won't cover that right now. These, again, I'll repeat, this is all standard on this caravan. The outside finish has our famous Raptor coat. Absolutely love this material. So we've built this one out of a composite sandwich panel construction. Basically with a floor panel, with a side wall panel this side, a side wall panel that side, and then we have a one-piece roof that goes from the front all the way over and down at the back. So it's basically built out of 4 pieces. So when you combine our lightweight chassis with the lightweight shell that's on it, you end up something like this. Is absolutely amazing. 19'6" caravan, well equipped as you're seeing now, with a 2280 tear weight, a 3.5 ton ATM, 1200 odd kilos worth of payload. That's incredible stuff. So we use this door. This door is a Malenko door, and the Malenko door separates the way I just show you there. Very simple. Pull that down, lift that. When you close this door, you really push it down the same way as you've undone it. One of the things we are hearing is a lot of people that have decided to slam these doors, and although they're good, these are nice. There's 4 nice security sections there. A beautiful security screen there. It's not fly wire, it's actually security mesh, but we've still got plastic components on it. If you slam these doors, it's quite possible to break those, and if this comes off, that's not a good thing. So just, I'll hop on this for a second. That's how you separate it, and that's how you put it back together, and then you just double check to make sure that's clear. Let's put that aside for a minute. So I really want to walk you inside the van because there's still more to show you on the outside, but this is really good inside. So handle in the right place. Oh, let me show you this first. Electric step, I love playing with this. What we have done is we've also put a mud flap in the front of this, so you'll see when this is in the upright position, we've actually protected that step with a mud flap there to stop things, roadkill, dirt, mud getting up on top of that. And we've also got another flap at the other side of it to protect it from things coming up off the wheels. So a nice electric step, well protected. Inside the van, so come on in. Come right in. Let's first have a look at this area here. This is the double bed. Well, actually, I say double bed, I should be telling you this is a queen size bed. So the queen size bed is exactly the same as queen size beds that you have at home. This isn't a caravan queen. Our industry often talks about caravan queens. Caravan queen is that width, same width, but actually shorter in length. They do that because we're trying to build lighter, smaller caravans for you, but not everyone will fit into those beds. You'll also see on the bed that it's got nice cut corners. You'll also see around the bed, we've put these little storage areas. They're great for an iPhone or an iPad or books or magazines or whatever you have at night, if you want to just slide them in there. If you do want to run power to that, there's also USB and 240 volt power points just underneath, and then you can just run your cable through to that. All these are empty, big empty storage spaces. Here's your robe, and if you look down at this one, look at the length of that drawer. That's a little beauty, that one. I love the colour on this particular van. I think the finish is really good. One of the major advantages of having this composite panel or sandwich panel is that it's fiberglass inside and fiberglass on the outside. So we've got this beautiful fiberglass finish all the way throughout. Should point out here that this is the 4-season hatch. So the idea of the 4-season hatch is that we can open up any one of the sections to let the air in from whatever direction we want to, and we can lock those down also if the weather's coming in from a different direction to what we're happy with. Okay, moving along the van, I should tell you also about these windows. These windows, very easy to use. They have this slide screen which is about as close to a midgie-proof screen as you can get, and then they slide up to create your blind. So if you're one of those people that really need it dark at night to sleep, these blinds will work perfectly for you. They're also really good when it comes to maintenance. You just clip these up or this down, and you can get to the rolls inside if you want to do any kind of maintenance. We're using LED lights all the way throughout the van. They're really great for power saving. They're also good to be able to set up the lighting mood the way you want it. So you can turn these on or off to suit however you want it. Again, another feature on this is we've got this lovely cafe dinette. I say it's a lovely cafe dinette because it's more spacious than most. So if you're sitting here, for example, and this is very comfortable, if you're sitting here, you're not knocking your knees with someone sitting opposite. You can actually sit 2 people here very comfortably, and by pulling your cushions out the way, you can actually sit 4 people. However, if you're like me and you like to sit back, you can throw yourself around here. The length of the seat is quite good, so you can just throw your feet out there, sit back, watch TV, cold beverage on the side here, and away you go. However, if you want to eat, well, or you want more people over, want to play cards, whatever it is that you're into doing, this table comes out as a trifold table, and now we've got a big table. This is an advantage, having a table like this in a caravan, because when you're not using it for meal processes, actually, and having it nicely out the way, it makes it much easier to get to your overhead cupboards over this side. You'll notice these have got really good quality struts on them. This particular van's been done with this silver and a nice dark grey edging. It looks awesome. I hope the film does it as good as it does look in real life. In your kitchen area, you've got 3 drawers on this side, all with soft close. 2 big cupboards up the top here. And again, I want to point out, these are empty. You can actually use them. Your TV, which can be swiveled that way, move it around like that, do whatever you like with this. And it's also made with a quick release. So when you're travelling, you quickly rip that off that stand, pull your cables here, and throw it into the bag we supply. Here's your bag. Throw it in that bag, and then put that bag on your bed. It protects this from being knocked around. Great little TV, even got a DVD player in it. Moving on further in the kitchen, the sink, stainless steel sink, nice plug. Not everyone has that type of plug. It saves the things from getting lost or jumping around in the van. This has also got a water filter on it. So the caravan comes with 190 litre general purpose water, 60 litres of drinking water, and then the drinking water comes through its own filter and operates from the 1 faucet here, and then that's your general purpose. So there's 2 outlets, the top one for general purpose, bottom one here, which is your drinking water one. There's nothing coming through that because I don't have my pumps turned on, which brings me to another point. The pump switches, if we can manoeuvre around to see it here, are located here. There's 2 separate switches, both illuminated. The idea of illuminating these switches is I really don't want you travelling with your pumps turned on. If anything goes wrong, if a hose comes off somewhere, you're going to be pumping your water either inside the van or outside the van. Either way, you're going to lose all your water. So, trick is to remind you to turn them off, so I actually have them as illuminated buttons. Microwave, and in here you'll see we put a cover for your plate, so you can transport this with your plate inside the microwave by having produced this little cover. It's a nice padded one. Here's again a nice area to be using for a charge station. iPads, iPhones, etc. can all go in there. Your radio and CD player. Coming back down here, 3 gas and 1 electric stove, a big pot drawer, and your slide out kitchen, your slide out pantry rather. We've also got here in the kitchen on the other side, we've got our fridge. This fridge is a 3-way fridge in this case. You can have the 3-way or you can have the compressor fridge. Bear in mind this actually comes with two 180 solar panels on the roof and a 200 lithium battery and a 2000 watt inverter. So we got plenty of power happening here as well. So choice of compressor, fridge or three-way. Either way, these are the latest from Dinette. They're a beautiful little fridge, narrower than the previous ones. Dinette's come up with the idea of getting something narrower, so if you've got one of those fitted in the van, there is no issues getting out of the van and through the front door. So a lot of manufacturers are going for these. Good idea. Further in, now we're into the ensuite. One of the big features of all Sunland Caravans has in fact been this area. Several features that we do that aren't necessarily the norm. One is our toilet area here. I want something that's got plenty of shoulder space, and this van has got plenty of shoulder space. There are lots of vans here. You sit there on the toilet, and quite frankly, you're like this. Lord knows I don't know how you're supposed to wipe your bottom, but anyway, this works really well. Got a cupboard in here, bits and pieces. This is a fiberglass top. The fiberglass top has got the fiberglass vanity basin built into it. So it gives you a nice low profile, nice and easy to clean. It looks really good. And then of course there's the mirror. I guess showing you the mirror right now, I'll be introducing Matt, the cameraman, because you should be able to see him. No, he managed to not be in the picture. Good on you, Matt. So this has got a light at the background, so it's a nice big mirror, and it's illuminated. Now, moving you on a little bit more into this area, we've got our washing machine. So again, I repeat, all the things I'm showing you are standard on the new Blue Healer Free Camp Edition. So this has got the Sphere 2.6 kilo washing machine. Some of you might have the older one that had a polystyrene hat in it, and the hat being the device that simply goes in there and stops the agitator from running around. You know, you don't want to be driving while this is doing this while you're going down the road. So what this does is this simply sits in there to stop the agitator moving, but in the case of the new Sphere, it's also a peg basket, so you can put your pegs in there and utilise it rather than just have this piece of polystyrene that's kind of useless. You'll also note while you're in there, maintenance is a big thing on all Sunland products, and you'll see if you're looking inside here, get to your plumbing for your shower and for your washing machine is really easy, just down in here. Talking of the shower, let's have a look in here. Now, again, this is a beautiful shower. Roomy, and when I designed the shower, I designed it to have a seat. So I can actually sit down, scrub my feet, whatever I want to do. And it's got your removable shower rose. But one of the biggest features on this is a completely fiberglass shell, so there's no way that this thing can leak. It's not possible. But down here, we've put a channel. So no matter what angle this is sitting at, and the floor's at a slight V as well, the water's always going to drain into that channel there. So you're not going to come into the shower and find you're in old, soggy, wet areas, which is kind of yucky. This also makes for a really good room if you wanted to add a towel rail. So you can put a towel rail on the opposing wall so that during the daytime you hang your damp towel up inside here. This works well because it doesn't have a traditional door. We've got this shower door. This shower door is a screen, so if you want to, you're using the shower now, I want some privacy, I'm simply going to close it. Kind of private. Open it up, and when I open it up, this has got a squeegee built in which will take the excess water off it. So leaving this open all the time means that this doesn't become a mould infested area. And it gets nicely aired out, and that's a big feature of being able to do that. So I love my shower door. We've also put in the walkway here a concertina door instead of a traditional sliding door. I avoid the ordinary opening doors because they're awkward, they touch things, they can come loose, whatever. Same with using a sliding door. But by removing the sliding door and putting this type of door on, and you only use this if you really want that extra peace of mind of privacy, allows us to then use this wall that's inside here. So if I can bring your attention up into this corner, we've got your inverter control, your mains control your solar isolation. So this has got isolation, so in the event of working on the solar panels you can isolate the power from that, because if you don't you get quite a nasty shock from it. Our water level monitor, our water heater, our LBS system. So this has got LBS systems telling me what, 99% in there, so we're nice and fully charged. We can turn our inverter on, or we can have it as charge only, and we can actually have some controls over that. We'll go through a bit more of that at a later date. So if we just move through again, I'm going to tell you that underneath here is a gas detector. Most people love them, some people hate them. The gas detectors will go off if there's any kind of gas in the van. So look, it's a safety feature, has a bit of a drawback that they can go off even if it's not an actual gas leak, but we'll live with that. We have got a smoke detector here as well. Again, these things can go off if you fill up your caravan with steam, those sorts of things. Once again, it's a bit of a drawback with them, but better to have it than not to have it. And Matt, if you can bring the folk round here and look down here, right down in this corner here, near the bed, you'll find that that's where your fire extinguisher sits. Now, I sit the fire extinguisher close to the bed because if something happened and you did have a fire in the caravan, the worst time it could happen would be if you're in bed, you need to do things. Grab your fire extinguisher on your way out the door. Out of the caravan. If it burns down, too bad, so sad. But a fire extinguisher nearest the bed, to me, is the ideal place to put it. Just moving around as we head back out the door here, your wine guard antenna for your TV, and we put these nice coat hooks, and I love what my boys have done with this this coat hook design. Got a nice little Australian scene on there, looks kind of cool. So I'm going to move you back out of the caravan, taking you back round the side here. This is your outside entertainment area. So as I said before, the TV has that bracket. You can take that off, put it in the bag, throw it on the bed, or alternatively you can bring it out here, slide it here. We've now got the TV on the outside, and then we've got a 240 volt power, so if you've got that on, you can use that part of your TV, or you can use a 12 volt socket, and that's your antenna point. We lock all that up, not because we think anyone's going to steal it, but because it keeps it out of the weather, and the more of these electrical components that are protected, the better. Here we go. So here's your hot water service. Now, the hot water service on this van is instant gas hot water, so there's no storage tank, there's no time waiting for water. So as much water as you've got hot water simply by turning this on. Turn on your tap, instant gas hot water. We use the Sunburst Awning, which comes from Aussie Traveller. Well, a great little awning, very easy to put up. Takes the full length of the van, and you'll also see up there's a couple of lights on this. The blue healer is 19'6", so this is the one standard length. You'll also notice the support for the awning there in the centre. The idea of that is it's travelling support, so as you're going down the road, the awning isn't jumping up and down. In that shot, you'll probably have noticed the TV antenna that's up and the radio antenna that's there as well. Now, some of the features for the 2020 Free Camp Edition Blue Healer included the reintroduction of the 150 pole carrier at the back here. So this is simply a pole carrier. You can put, you know, your hoses, your silage hoses in there. You could fit fishing rods, whatever you like. It's 150 and it goes right the way across the van. For a while there we didn't have this option, but we've reintroduced it for this particular one, and part of that's because of the aluminium chassis. So it's lighter and more functional for us. Inside here, your hot water service that we mentioned before, that's the shower unit that I was in. I was sitting on that a few moments ago. So your hot and cold water, we've got two pumps in here, one for your general purpose and one for your drinking water. And you'll note that we've got filters on each of those. Should keep an eye on that. Sometimes, particularly when they're new, you might get bits of plastic from those tanks. Get up, you'll see the little pieces in there. Those tanks are a poly tank. They're rotor-moulded and they fit right in the centre of the chassis. So as you include water or use the water, it's not affecting the balance of the van. Now I mentioned before, this one's got a tare weight of around 2.2 or a little over 2.2 and a ball weight of about 190 kilos, maximum ball weight of 350 kilos and a maximum ATM of 3.5 tonne. there's a lot of flexibility in all that. This is also your filter. So the idea of this is, it's not inside your cupboard. You don't have to empty out your cupboards to get your things for maintenance. If you want to change your filter, which you should do about every 6 months, by the way, you can come straight here and it's easy to do. Now, keeping that in mind, that we want to make this as serviceable as possible, we've done the same thing over this side. I was reading recently on one of the forums, people complaining about how high the power connection is. You'll see on this one here, it's at the back, and it's actually at quite a reasonable height. We like to keep the power relatively high. They talk about children. I don't really know if that's the reason that it started that way, because heck, the dangerous part of this is actually the lead, and that's always going to come down anyway. But water certainly, hopefully, is kept away from that. So 240 volt leads actually a nice height. Looking inside here, several things. That's that 200 lithium battery that I mentioned before, produced by LBS lithium battery systems. It has an MPPT controller built in, so the inputs are done via Anderson plugs. Really neat feature on the van. And we've got that 2000 watt inverter. So all the power points in this van can be turned on via inverter power instead of just ordinary 240 volt shore power. Big thing. Fuse blocks, readily available. And look, for those of you that have mentioned this in the past, there is your wiring diagram. Every one of these caravans also comes with a folder, comprehensive folder with all the instructions on all the items that we fit as standard. Comes with spare key sets, comes with spare fuses, wiring diagram again is in there. There's a list of showing you all the keys that it comes with and what they're for. Most of your questions are actually answered within that black folder. If they're not, it's actually relatively simple. You can call us on 07 5499 2250. If you're really in trouble during the weekends or out of hours, you can ring me directly on my mobile, which is 0410 574 127. I will always take your phone call. I see the product as not being a 9 to 5, 5-day-a-week product. This is a 24 hours a day, 7-day-a-week product, and so therefore there are times where you may need support that's outside normal working hours. That's what I'm all about. You have a problem, you ring me. I promise I will always either take the call, or if I'm unable, I will always return that call very promptly. So there's not a lot of occasions where I'm not able to take the call. Just remember that, because at the end of the day, service is really what it's all about. Once you own the caravan, what is the service? So 5-year manufacturing warranty on this van for off-road use, and a 20-year warranty on my chassis. And I've got to tell you, I don't think anyone out there can really compete with any of this. They don't build a caravan like this. They don't provide all the equipment that we provide. This van's going out at $99,990, so $99,990, the full package on the road with that warranty and with that backup. You really can't do any better than that. Thank you for watching.